What is up, guys? I made the trek from Baltimore. I've been driving a lot lately. I drove from Baltimore to Syracuse last week, which is a 7.5 hour drive. I did it by myself, and when you do a drive like that by yourself, you got to find something to do to pass the time. I was playing this really fun driving game. It's called Smoke Weed Every 35 Minutes. It's a really fucking fun game, because usually like 5 hours in, you don't even realize you're driving anymore. You're like, what the fuck? I didn't even know Hyundai Sonatas could drive themselves. This is crazy. Am I in a plane? What's going on here? I was like driving up there. I was doing real well. I was doing like a cool 40 and a 60. And this guy got behind me, he starts hitting his high beams and honking his horn, and I'm like, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, who the fuck is this angry already? And he pulls up next to me, and he cuts me off. And when he cuts me off, I see on the back of his car, it says, for videography for weddings, bar mitzvahs, and birthday parties, call Mike, and then it had his phone number. I was like, oh man, you fucked up. I am so high and so angry right now. So I called him, right, as I was driving. And I was like, hey, Mike? And he goes, yeah, who's this? And I go, hey, are you trying to suck my dick? And he was like, what? Who is this? What do you want? I was like, you heard what I said, bitch. This is the dude in the car behind you. You were honking at me and flashing your high beams. Figured you wanted to pull over to a rest stop and, suck my dick. And then he got off the highway, which, yeah, it's like that's a win, but it didn't feel like it because I thought I was gonna get my dick sucked. And I didn't. I kept driving, and then he called me back like 15 minutes later. He was like, "Hey man, I'm at the rest stop. Where are you?" And I was like, "Fuck, it's too late to turn around now." I don't like driving though, because I got into my first car accident a few months ago. I got rear-ended by a 91-year-old man named Wolfram. Yeah, that's his real name. I guess you could say he Wolfram the shit out of me. Hey-o. All right, first joke of the night. Not too bad, huh? But yeah, he rear-ended me. He was going 65 miles per hour. I was going 0 miles per hour. Luckily, I was texting when it happened, so I didn't see it coming. I just took it like a champ. And then I got out of my car. I didn't know what to do. I called my oldest brother. Now, my oldest brother, he's a Jehovah's Witness, right? So I called him up, and I was like, hey, David, I just got in a car accident. What do I do? And he said, well, in times like these, I think, what would Jehovah want me to do? Damn it, man, I don't have time to make pamphlets and knock on doors. I need an ambulance right now. You guys can laugh harder than that. It's nighttime. They're not allowed out. We're safe here. You're talking about a fucking safe space. It's a goddamn hate bunker. No, it's not. It's not. Yeah, my brother, he's a Jehovah's Witness. He's 14 years older than me. He's 36. I'm 22. And I got these 2 little Jehovah's Witness nieces, right? And they say weird shit all the time. And I don't know if it's because they're Jehovah's Witnesses or because my brother's raising them. You know what I mean? Like, this is the guy that tied me up when I was 6 and made me watch Scream. Does he get to have kids, you know? But anyway, the one's 7, right? And I took a picture with her the other day. And I was like, oh, this is a really good picture. I'm going to put this one on Facebook. And she goes, don't do that. And I said, why? And she goes, because then pedophiles are going to see me. It's like, you're fucking 7. Who told you what pedophiles are? It should be like SpongeBob and Stranger Danger. Like, you shouldn't know the word. When I was 7, I would get into any Astro van that pulled up to me just because I thought Astro meant we were going to space. You know, like, live a little, kid, get touched. I don't want her to get touched. I don't. But when she said that to me, like, pedophiles are gonna see me, what do you think, I'm hanging out with a bunch of fucking pedophiles? Like, also, you've been to Disneyland 6 times in your short life. Pedophiles have seen you. Yeah. Hate to break it to you guys, but pedophiles only go on vacation 2 places, Disneyland and Thailand. That's it. Those are the only 2. Oh, sorry, but behind that Mickey Mouse head is a weird mustache and a hard dick. Do not go to Disneyland. Thank you. Some people know Walt Disney's a Nazi. I'm a Pixar guy, sorry. My other niece, she's 4, and she graduated preschool last week, which is a cool thing, I guess. I didn't know we were celebrating fucking animal crackers and nap time, whatever. And before she goes on to do her little song and dance at her graduation, I leaned into her and I was like, hey, I love you, I'm proud of you, do great up there. She goes, thanks, Uncle Matt, I love you, but I hate Satan. Why? She said it to me like she was my mom. That's what upset me. She was like, yeah, I love you, Matt, but that Satan guy, he's a bad influence. You probably shouldn't hang out with him. Where's this coming from? And I turn around, and who's standing there? Fucking Satan. I'm like, what are you doing, man? You know she doesn't like you. You're ruining this for her. And like they're on stage doing the song and dance, and this one girl pulls her shirt up over her face and starts crying louder than the other kids are singing and dancing, which is sad but also funny because you know she's gonna remember that shit the rest of her life. And you get to, that's gold to me. I got to watch that play out. I guess you guys aren't fucked up emotionally like I am. And she gets off stage and she sits down with her dad, and her dad leans into her. This is the bad part. And he leans in and he goes, "That was the softest shit I have ever seen in my life. If you keep being that soft, you're never gonna make it in the real world." And I was like, wow, what a bad dad. But also at the same time, if it wasn't for dads like that, I would never get laid. So, yeah, it's a weird circle of life moment for me, because like that's bad now, but in 10 years, she's gonna be the best hand job somebody ever got. And then in 20 years, she's gonna be on some old dude's dick like, who's soft now, Dad? And it's a sweet revenge story. I get it. Some of you guys got daddy issues. I'm going back to Baltimore. My name's Matt Brown. Have a good night.